Fellow tacticians, welcome back. And as promised, I have the update for the Chaos tier list, as well as our giveaway winner announcement today. So before we begin, I'd love to start off with a disclaimer that changes to balancing may shift the balance of this and all future lists. We will do our best to update you once we are certain of any new information. So, testing that I might get, different opinions coming in from outside individuals, any balance updates, new raid bosses. This is a living list, and I know I've talked to a lot of you in the comments about that specifically, but opinions are taken into account. The general state of the game is taken into account, so expect this list to change, and hopefully all future videos will not be an hour long. So, let's go ahead and hop into it. Quick reminder, this is where we left off in the last video. We have Ahriman all the way at the top, followed by Angrax, Volk, Rotbone, Abraxas, Typhus all in the strong tier. In the average tier, we have Harkin, Abaddon, and Corodius. Weak lacks testing is no longer a category. I should be able to test everything. We are now just going to have it at weak. But in the previous weak lacks testing, we had Ahriman, Toth, Thaumachus, Maladus, and in the past tier, we had both Pestillion and Yazaghor. Let's go ahead and start off by placing Thaumachus. We are able to get some testing in him, plus our previous experiences that we had with Thaumachus. Now, just going to go ahead and kind of, allude to my video for the Screamer Killer a little bit. We found some uses for him there for going into the raid boss. He had the shielding potential and did some flame damage, and this was for the Prime, not the actual boss himself. The possession was still very underwhelming. I have not had a chance to really use him against Corodius, and that is one thing that I still wish to test. If anybody has a different opinion on this, let me know. But overall, he falls into the average tier above Harkin, in my personal opinion. The attempted possession is really easy to play around. It's very niche. I enjoy it. It's fun. It has a lot of potential in the game, but it's just not there for me right now. The shields can be very critical in protecting somebody like Eldrion. I think there's a lot of valuation there, but I don't really like a defensive playstyle in this game when you have 6 turns to deal as much damage as possible. So, with that being said, I feel as an average. If you disagree with his placement, you know where to let me know. Let's go ahead and move into Ahriman real quick. Ahriman came into the game, and everybody wants him. Everybody that I know wants him, and I personally have been farming him every day. I think we're coming up on 200 shards now. Really want this character, and for good reason. Go ahead and spoil it real quick. I feel he really falls into the top tier above Ahriman. Here's why. His synergy potential has the ability to reshape a lot of the meta. Now, granted, I think Eldrion's still going to be brought pretty much everywhere, but some of the synergy that he can bring with the flame damage increases, the neurothrop things that I've seen coming in from Mortarion, I've recently tested around and just casually with neurothrop, Ahriman, Eldrion, and a few other characters dropped 350k on a legendary Mortarion. So this character, I hope will have really big impacts on the meta, and he also takes a lot of those characters that we really weren't feeling too great on. I'm talking about the Toth, I'm talking about Thaumachus, I'm talking about Abraxas, and he really levels those characters up. But not only those characters, Roswitha comes in and gets a little bit of a boost because she's able to put fire damage out on the map. Vindicta's able to get a lot more valuation because, she's the flamethrower diva. So really a lot going on there for Ahriman. I feel top tier is not an exaggeration. Maybe a little bit, maybe behind Ahriman. I still don't have the greatest feel for him, and I really want to see what everybody's able to do when they have this character taken to the max. Y'all did this one to me. Angrax. Every comment in the comment section was Angrax. And I agree. I love this character. He is phenomenal. His onslaught potential, his legendary release potential are just massive. Now, a big negative is that he really doesn't perform in any of the guild raids whatsoever. He doesn't have too much of a presence in PvP for obvious reasons. But you all have spoken. I will give you this one. We've brought in just one spot up. He was already behind Archimatos. We just moved him in there for you to get your satisfaction. Top tier for Angrax. He is very unique. And, you know, fun fact, I highlighted Cut Skoden in my last video. Angrax has his exact passive plus some, so buff Cut. But I digress. Yeah, Angrax is a fantastic character. Really deserves his spot up there. What he can do in legendary release events is so satisfying, and everybody loves Angrax Whack-A-Mole. Maladus Revisited. So, I originally had Maladus in the average tier on my own, and then some of the other individuals on my team were like, dude, too much. But the comments section, all of you voted and spoke, Maladus, bump him up. And you know what? I agree. I think Maladus can come in here and really fill in that average tier. His movement is still very negative. Very negative onto him. I still feel I want to place him behind Abaddon. I want to place him behind Corodius. And I want to place him behind Harkin. But I feel that he kind of slots in just behind Harkin, with all things considered, because of how valuable he can be for clearing the board on legendary release events and Onslaught as well, and has a lot of valuation in the campaign. You're able to get him early. There's a lot to be said for his value, and if he does hit somebody, they're going off the map. Like, you are absolutely wrecking their day. So, ultimately, fell in behind Harkin and above Abaddon. Now, let's go ahead into Yazaghor. I was sleeping on Yazaghor, and I still think that he has a lot to be desired. I know I've talked to a lot of you in the comments, and quick caveat, I'm still trying to reply to all of you in the comments section. I was blown away by how many comments that I got today on that video, and I'm so thankful for all of you. This has been awesome. But anywho, the synergy that all of you were talking about in the comments section, I agree with. I think there's a lot of unique uses for Yazaghor, but like as I was saying in those comments, I think he needs just a little bit more to really boost up. And you see that in my placement here. I still don't think he's average. He might be. He might be if you find the right combinations. I know some people were talking about a Yazaghor Typhus combination, and that sounds nasty. Layering on some Toth on top of that, awesome. But extremely niche. There is something to be said about the Neurothrop combinations with Abraxas coming in and, you know, getting the mass amount of summons out. I agree. I bumped him up from pass, especially since he's likely to be needed in the Thousand Suns campaign. Now, mind you, this is a living list. We don't have that campaign yet. When that does drop, it will increase valuation if I deem it so, and the rest of the community deems it so. So, with that being said, Yazaghor, he's going up to the weak tier. Honorable mentions from the viewers here. Both Harkin and Toth were extremely praised from all of you. But I can't. Harkin falls off of a cliff, new guys. He really does. Like, his early game valuation is incredible. He's needed for the campaign. But once you get, you know, upper silvers, you get into the elite section of the campaign, you'll really feel how he just gets absolutely dumpstered. And it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. So he still, I really feel, falls in that average category, and I'm going to have to go back a slide to show you the final list. Toth coming in here. A lot of conversation for Toth. His tankiness is absolutely great. I do agree. I think his active can be really fun. I still think he needs a little bit more for the full valuation. Now, granted, with the Winged Prime, you might see some uses out of him. I found teams that did better without him. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, also, Pastillion's not shown here in this honorable mentions domain. Oh, this is so fun. I can do all this now. In this domain that you see up here. However, there still needs to be a little bit more testing on how good he's going to be on the Winged Prime. If there's value to bringing him instead of some just straight up damage dealers that don't need to rely on his passive. I wasn't a fan of him in the testing, but who knows, right? I could be 100% wrong on that. But let's go ahead and back one, and we'll take a look at this side. final tier list over here. So we've opted to go for top tier Ahriman, Archimatos, Angrax. So all the A's up there with the exception of Abraxas. And there could be something said to moving him up as well. This, like I said, is very opinionated, has a lot of different considerations into it. It's a living list. In the strong tier, Volk, Abraxas, Rotbone, Typhus. There was a lot of conversations in the comments about Typhus. A lot of you wanted to move him up. A lot of you wanted to move him down. I think with that kind of split personality kind of shows that we might have gotten him right where he is on the money. Maybe I personally might move him down at the top of average, but we'll see. I need to unlock him on my main account. I really do. But anywho, in the average tier, Thaumachus getting bumped up, Harkin staying where he's at, Maladus getting bumped up, Abaddon, Corodius. In the weak tier, Yazaghor getting bumped up along with Toth staying in his own space, and we're still passing on Pastilian here, unfortunately. So that is what we've got for the new updated Chaos tier list. Let's go ahead and head into the giveaway winner. Now, I wanted it to be completely random and pick one of you based on just complete random value. If you commented, if you liked, if you subscribed. Now, I'll be honest, I can't see if you like or subscribe, so I do just appreciate it. So, a spoiler alert there. It is what it is, but thank you for, like, all of the comments, all of the likes, all of the subscriptions. My channel blew up with this video, and I'm so thankful to all of you. But the only one winner that we have for today is going to be James Westwood 3756. So James, I'm going to be commenting on your comment, and I want you to message me on Discord. If you're seeing it here, comment down below. Let's get in touch. Let me go ahead and give you that code so you can get yourself an Abraxas, my guy. So thank you all so much. Now, I'm going to stay on this screen for 1 second and talk about feedback, right? Feedback is so critically important to me, and I value it heavily. After that video, I felt horrible with how the camera quality was. I felt horrible about the background. Some of you commented on it, and I appreciate it. All good feedback is great, right? You're doing awesome. You're doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that, and that makes me feel awesome. But constructive criticism lets me know what I'm doing wrong and lets me know what I can improve on. And I want this channel to be good for all of you. That's what I care about. I want you to enjoy watching this. So we got the new camera, we got the new microphone, we got the green screen, and hopefully it's addressing some of those criticisms that you have. Now, the big one that I know a lot of you had was the length in videos. I know this one's going a little bit long because I have some things to talk about. I'll timestamp it out so you can ignore me. But I feel like these initial lists need to be long so we can really break them down. Now, I want you to know that the real true spirit of these lists is for new players to identify how they need to spend their resources as they grow their account. Their Chaos Orbs, their Chaos Badges. I feel like for the new players, it's best if they understand why the character is being placed where they're placed, what the great valuations for the characters are, and that's why I spent so much time. So expect long videos for the Imperial, expect a long video for the Xenos list. It's got to be there, and it's got to be pretty lengthy. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to give my normal plug to Chapter Invictus. If you are interested in joining an awesome alliance, you want access to that bot that we utilized for that last video to show you a lot of those, different abilities and everything, this is the place to go. It's been a great home. 19 guilds, 570 members. Let's get out of the way here. Awesome cluster. Yes, it is indeed, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you are looking for a home, if you want an alliance to hang out in, hop to that Discord, join us here, and with that being said, peace.